Welcome all. In this video, we shall be discussing about the classification of discrete time signals. First, we'll consider energy signals and power signals, may be broadly classified into energy signals and power signals. Before we define what is an energy signal or what is a power signal, let us first define what is energy of a discrete time signal and what is power of a discrete time signal. Energy of a signal is defined as E is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n the whole square mod x of n the square. X of n is the sample values. X of n, absolute value of x of n, you take the modulus or absolute value of x of n, then you square it. So squared absolute value of sample is x of n square. So sum of squared absolute values of all the samples of a signal is called its energy. I think it's clear. Sum of squared absolute values of all signal samples. So that is called the energy of a signal. And we shall define the average power of a discrete time signal as P is equal to limit n tend to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 summation x of n square, n runs from minus n to plus n. Correct. So this is how the power is defined. And another way of describing the same fact. If we define the signal energy of a signal x of n over the finite interval from minus n to positive n as En is equal to, En stands for energy of the signals whose samples are taken from a finite interval minus n to plus n. So in that case, our summation will change from minus infinity to plus infinity as n equal to minus n to positive n. So that's the only change. So if we define En as something like this, then the energy of the signal may be defined as limit n tend to infinity E of n. That's very obvious. And the power may be defined as limit n tend to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 En. So this is how the power and energy of signals are defined. If the energy is finite, then we call the signal as energy signal. Okay. Obviously, if E is finite, then E divided by 2n plus 1 in the limit n tends to infinity will be obviously 0. I repeat, if En is finite, then we have to evaluate this limit, right? Limit n tend to infinity, a finite number divided by 2n plus 1. So that will be obviously 0. So if energy is finite, we call the signal as energy signal, and for energy signals, the power will be obviously 0. Now, on the other hand, if E is infinite, then the average power may be either finite or infinite. There are two possibilities. So power may be finite or infinite. So if P is again finite and non-zero, then we call the signal as power signal. Correct? So we call this as power signal. So power signal means the power is infinite and non-zero. By adding the clause non-zero, we make sure that the signal is not an energy signal. If power is 0, then that may be an energy signal. So this is how energy signals and power signals are defined. As an example, let us determine the power and energy of the unit step sequence. Okay. So first let us calculate the energy using the definition E is equal to n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n the whole square. Alright. Now our signal is u of n equals, our signal x of n is u of n. What is u of n? U of n is 1 for n greater than or equal to 0 and is equal to 0 for n less than 0. So this is how u of n is defined. Please recall that. Now you are going to find the absolute value of x of n. So we can change this summation from minus infinity to plus infinity as from n equal to 0 to some infinity, correct? Because our signal values are 0 for all negative values of small n. Now what is our x of n? It's basically u of n, correct? U of n the square, and u of n square is nothing but 1. Absolute value of u of n for every positive and 0 integer is 1. So you can write this summation as n equal to 0 to infinity. U of n square is nothing but absolute value of u of n is 1, then 1 square. 1 square is nothing but summation n equal to 0 to infinity, it's 1. So if you sum 1 infinite times, you will get infinity. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus etc. How many times? Infinite terms will be there. So the result will be obviously infinity. That will give you infinity, correct? So the energy of the signal is infinity. Therefore we can conclude that this is not an energy signal, not an energy signal, correct? This is not an energy signal. Now let us consider the power of x of n. We know that power is defined as limit n tend to infinity 1 by 2 n plus 1 summation n equal to minus n to plus n x of n square, and we substitute for x of n, we will get u of n square. And as already explained, this is nothing but why the summation has changed from n equal to minus n to n equal to 0, because u of n is equal to 0 for negative values of small n. Therefore the summation is something like this. And when you find the sum for n tend to infinity, we have to find out what is this ratio, and that is very simple. So if you find the sum from 0 to n, I'm rewriting n equal to 0 to capital N, u of n square is nothing but n plus 1. Why? Suppose your term n is equal to 3, then this is nothing but n equal to 0 to 3, 1. Because I already explained u of n is 1, then u of n square is also 1. So this is nothing but 1 plus, and for n equal to 0 it is 1, for n equal to 1 it is again 1, for n equal to 2 it's again 1, and for n equal to 3 it's again 1. So that means you will get 4. So in general, if it is n, you will have n plus 1, correct? So this is how u of n square turns out to be n plus 1. So when you find the sum of, when you evaluate this summation, you will get it as n plus 1, and this 2n plus 1 in the denominator. Then you are going to apply the limit n tend to infinity n plus 1 divided by 2n plus 1. So taking n outside, you can simplify this as 1 plus 1 by n divided by 2 plus 1 by n. So when n tend to infinity, 1 by n will tend to 0, no doubt. Therefore our power turns out to be half. So we have got a finite power, correct? We obtained power as finite. We got a finite non-zero value for the power, and that means the signal is power signal. Okay, you may try two other signals. One is our complex exponential sequence x of n is equal to a e raised to j omega 0 n, and the other one is our unit ramp signal. Okay, and you can show that unit ramp signal does not belong to power or energy signals. So that means you cannot classify any arbitrary signal into either a power signal or energy signal. There are signals which does not belong to neither energy nor power. Okay, so these two questions you may try as an assignment. Another classification of signals is periodic signals and aperiodic signals. So the term periodic signal is very much obvious and known to us. So let us define what is a periodic signal is. Suppose you have a signal x of n and we call it as periodic if and only if x of n plus capital N must be x of n for every small n values. So the signal must repeat the same sequence after every capital N. Okay, so that's very obvious, and we call n as fundamental period, or simply period of the signal. And an example is a sinusoidal function, and please note that a sine x of n equals a sine 2 pi f0 n is periodic if and only if f0 is rational. We have discussed this in the first unit. So f is rational, f0 is rational means it can be represented as a sorry. So if f0 can be represented as ratio of two integers, and if k by n is relatively prime, we call n as the period. We have already discussed this fact. So this is an example. One important point is this: all periodic signals are power signals, and that is really important. If you have any periodic signal, then that periodic signal will be a power signal. Okay, we can easily illustrate that any periodic signal is a power signal. Let us define the energy of the signal first. So the energy En of the signal is defined as En is defined as summation n equal to minus n2 plus n x of n modulus square. Now for a periodic signal you can define En for a single period. For a period you can define En as summation n equal to 0 to capital N minus 1 x of n mod square. So there are two possibilities. This may be finite or this may be infinite. When it is finite, this is finite if all x of n are finite. Finite when all x of n are finite. Correct. And otherwise you may get it as infinite. However, when you calculate the energy, you know that energy of the signal is defined as limit n tend to infinity En. So that will be obviously infinite. In either the case you will get it as infinite, therefore not an energy signal. Correct. I repeat, if you consider the sum of squares of absolute values for a period, you may get a finite value if all x of n's are finite. Otherwise you may get an infinite value for En. Now in the limit n tend to infinity E of n you will get an infinite value. Even if over a period it is finite, in the limit n tend to infinity this will be infinite, and therefore obviously not an energy signal. Now for a power signal we know that it is defined as, power is defined as 1 by 2n plus 1 sorry power is defined as limit n tend to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 En. So that will be obviously finite and non-zero. Therefore the signal is power signal. Okay, another classification of the signal is symmetric or even signal and antisymmetric or odd signals. Alright, a symmetric or even signal means if x of minus n equal to x of n. Okay, now an antisymmetric signal means x of minus n is equal to negative of x of n. Correct. So these are the two possibilities. Correct. That means you consider some samples at n equal to 1. Say the signal is something like this, and at n equal to 2 the signal is like this, and at n equal to 3 the signal is like this. So for instance, you may call this as the signal value is 2 here, it's 1 here, and it is negative 2 here, and this is equal to n equal to 1, n equal to 2, and n equal to 3. Now if the signal is symmetric, at n equal to minus 1 you will have the same value, that is 2, and at n equal to minus 2 you will have the same signal value, that is negative 2, and at n equal to minus 3 you will have 1 again. Correct. So this is how a symmetric signal is defined. You can see that it is symmetric about n is equal to 0. Correct. Now for an antisymmetric it will be the other way. That means it will be something like, suppose at n is equal to 1 the signal is 1, at 2 the signal is some 2, and at 3 the signal is again 1. Now at n equal to minus 1 this will be negative 1, this will be negative 2, and this will be negative 1. So this is how an antisymmetric signal is defined. An interesting point is this: you can represent any arbitrary signal as any arbitrary signal as sum of an even component xc of n and an odd component xo of n. So that is very simple to prove. You just consider a signal xc of n defined as half x of n plus x of minus n. Now if you put n is equal to minus n, you will get the same expression, half x of minus n plus x of n. So you just try that. You try to find out what is xc of minus n. Xc of minus n, you will get it as half of x of minus n plus x of n. This is nothing but xc of n. So that satisfies the definition of symmetric signal. So this is an even or symmetric signal, and you can similarly show that this is an odd signal. Correct. Okay, so thus we have discussed the classification of discrete time signals. Thank you.